Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at what I honestly think is one of the most powerful allegories for success ever told. We're diving into a fascinating narrative extracted from a cinematic production script titled The Bamboo That Refused to Grow. Now, this isn't just some story about agriculture, it's a really profound look into the emotional stakes of waiting for success. I mean, have you ever poured your heart and soul into something day after day and felt like you were getting absolutely nowhere? Well, that crushing feeling of stagnation is exactly what we're going to dissect today. Let's get started. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. The illusion of failure, or working without results. You see, the entire central conflict of our source material is built around this crushing psychological weight of working relentlessly without seeing any immediate payoff. Take a look at this. The greatest success stories begin with silence. I want you to really slow down and let that sink in for a second. You know, in a world that constantly demands instant gratification and flashy overnight successes, this text posits something entirely counterintuitive. Real, lasting progress doesn't usually start with a bang. It starts completely quietly. It starts in the silence of daily, unrecognized effort. Which brings us to a really profound question. I want to ask this directly to you right now. What if you gave absolutely everything, but saw nothing in return? Just imagine dedicating day after day, month after month, to a goal that yields zero visible reward. Most people, completely understandably, would just quit, right? The emotional toll of pouring your energy into a void is simply too high. But this explainer is all about what happens when you decide not to quit. And that leads us to our next section: years without visible progress and the agonizing wait. The script introduces us to a 65-year-old farmer. Picture a guy with a weathered face, kind eyes, and just this profound, quiet determination. He lives a peaceful life, puts on his simple farming boots, some straw hat, and carefully plants a bamboo seed in the earth. And then, the wait begins. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the agonizing progression we see here. Look at year 1. He waters the soil and nothing happens. Year 2, he continues his peaceful routine, tending to the exact same spot. Nothing happens. Year 3, year 4, still nothing. I want you to pause and really feel the sheer frustration of that timeline. 4 entire years of absolute barren silence. It isn't until year 5 that we finally see a sudden shift. And remember, he wasn't doing this in a vacuum. As outlined in the source's second act, there's this massive social dissonance going on. To the villagers, this was just barren soil and a foolish old man wasting his twilight years watering dirt. They literally laughed at him. They completely lost hope. But the farmer, he knew he was nurturing a seed requiring immense patience. He held on to this unwavering, quiet belief while everyone around him just mocked his efforts. So I gotta ask you again, would you have stopped watering if you were in his worn brown boots, facing the relentless mockery of your peers, staring at a patch of dirt that hasn't changed in over 1,000 days? Would you have surrendered? It's a heady question. Honestly, most of us would have walked away, totally convinced the seed was a goner. But this story isn't actually about what's happening on the surface. Let's move to our next section: the hidden root system, under the surface. This is where the narrative shifts, and we finally discover what was actually happening underneath the earth, while all those villagers were laughing. This introduces us to the absolutely pivotal concept of invisible growth. This is the foundational work happening when nobody can see it, but it's essential for future success. The bamboo seed wasn't dead during those 4 years. Actually, it was doing the monumental, exhausting work of building out a massive root system underground. And this brilliantly illustrates the reality of the wait. The seed was developing a massive underground structure. It was building a foundation specifically designed to support extreme future height. What looked like dormancy to the villagers was actually intense preparation. Without this unseen labor, without this vast, invisible network of roots, the bamboo could never survive what comes next. It would simply topple right over. Which brings us to Act 5 of the script: the sudden climax. The wait is over. After years of quiet, invisible preparation, the narrative dramatically shifts into high gear. The foundation has finally been laid, and things are about to get crazy. Just look at the stark contrast on this chart. For years 1 through 4, the visible growth is absolute zero. just a flat line. But in year 5, the bamboo experiences rapid, explosive growth. It shoots up into the sky in a matter of weeks. The villagers who had spent years mocking the farmer are suddenly in absolute shock. The farmer's patience is entirely validated. The massive, invisible foundation suddenly produced massive, undeniable, visible results. Now, this is a beautiful cinematic fable, but let's pivot to our next section, translating bamboo to life, a practical blueprint. Because this isn't just about farming, right? It's a direct, practical blueprint for your own personal struggles and ambitions. Let's move to and see how this builds by mapping this allegory directly to you. Just like the bamboo is defined by silent roots and sudden growth, human success is completely driven by unseen hard work and eventual breakthrough. Your late nights, your quiet sacrifices when literally no one is clapping for you, that is your root system. And just like the bamboo, that invisible foundation is exactly where it leads to your eventual massive breakthrough. Synthesizing the main takeaways from the source material, we get these vital lessons from the soil. First, true growth happens beneath the surface. Building a solid foundation is vastly more important than rushing for immediate visible results. Second, you have to trust the process, even in the total silence. Third, you've got to endure the doubt of others, the villagers in your own life. Because ultimately, the roots you build in the dark will become your greatest strength in the light. So the crucial point is this clear, step-by-step call to action derived straight from the climax of the story. Step 1, keep learning. Step 2, keep growing. And step 3, keep believing. Even when the soil looks completely barren, you've got to persist in your unseen efforts. You have to keep watering your goals day in and day out. The script leaves us with this final, incredibly powerful thought. Sometimes, the most important work is happening where nobody can see it. Take a second to really reflect on your own invisible growth. What are you building right now that the world can't see yet? Keep watering it. Because once you understand the science of invisible growth, you realize that overnight success is almost always years in the making. Thanks for hanging out with me on Explainer. See you next time.